Hello and welcome to Full Send Broadcast Network, here tonight from virtual Daytona International Speedway, the world's center of racing, tonight with the SCL Weekly Cup Series, the Winston Cup Series that is, round one to kick off their points-paying races here for this season, season 33. Joining me up here in the booth tonight is Mike Peters. How you doing tonight, Mike?
I'm good. I was hoping to be out there on the digital racetrack, but I guess iRacing updates and my internet had other ideas, and I am not done updating in time. So, I guess the only preparation you have to do in the gaming world is update your computer. I didn't do that.
That happens to the best of us, and we definitely have a great race in store here tonight from Daytona International Speedway. Let's pull up our pre-race info here, presented by the SCL Winston Cup Weekly Series. Daytona International Speedway, 2.5 mile super speedway here at 69 degrees Fahrenheit with 112 degree track surface temperature. It's going to be hot and slick out there for these cars going over 200 miles an hour, inches apart from each other. It's 39% humidity, partly cloudy with 7-mile-an-hour winds, which can wreak havoc in the corners at this high-banked oval. They're going to be doing 100 laps around here with one fast repair. They're going to have one attempt at a green-white checkered finish. They have 3 sets of tires, and the points format for this season that kicks off here tonight is straight points from race 1 to the end of the season. All of the points you accumulate will present your champion at the end of it with the most points. Now, they do have one drop race for the season, so your worst race of the season will be knocked out of your points. So you're allowed to have at least one horrible night or miss one race total and it not count against you. And that is your pre-race info here presented by the SCL. As we look here, we have about 20 seconds left to go in practice. Let's take a look at our speed charts here. Randall Shelton on the top spot in that 31 machine with a 46.336. Todd Merkel in second with a 46.406. Ryan Kelly, Maxwell Caldwell, and Michael Accord round out your top 5 here as the checkered flag flies on practice. We're going to be going to qualifying here. So looking at the way this race is looking to be building up here tonight, Mike, what are you expecting to see out of tonight's race?
Well, we did a lot of preseason races, as you know. We did a clash here last weekend, last Monday. That was a good time. I think we're going to see some guys trying to figure out who all they can work with. We've got a lot of new guys in the series this year. We've partnered with the Southern Premier Racing Series to be their official esports program. So we've got some guys that run that series. I know we're jumping in here last minute as well. So we're going to see a lot of guys, like any new season, where they're trying to figure out who they can run with, who the guys are they are running with. So I think we'll see a little bit of anarchy, but we'll see guys start to build trust and say, I like to work with this guy, and we'll see some stuff kind of happening towards the end here. I'm just hoping we can get, a good caution-free stint in right off the bat. No point in winning lap 10, but we'll see who tries to take that trophy home.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you there. And as this race gets closer to the finish here tonight, or I would say probably around lap 80, that's when you're going to start seeing the intensity really ratchet up here tonight, and these drivers are going to start throwing caution to the wind to try to get that first win of the season.
Yeah, there's no doubt we're going to have the caution in the wind off that little iRacing flag guy's arm. Definitely later in the race, you're going to see some guys where they work together and they get impatient. It's going to be fun at the end here. We'll see how many survive. We'll see if we have an Austin Dillon repeat here where somebody just dives down the apron from 16th and takes home the checker or not. But it's going to be a show towards the end, that's for sure.
Yeah, that was one common aspect that we've seen here at the Busch Clash for the SCL was the Austin Dillon move that they were able to pull off and get. I think they were 8th or 9th when that last wreck happened in 3 and 4 or 1 and 2, and was by themselves all the way down the backstretch and through 3 and 4 and brought home the checkered flag.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I've never seen iRacing have such an incident where the entire field just got kicked off the server for a second. But if you check out the Full Send Broadcasting race from last week on that, you can see that phenomenon happen. It was pretty funny. But yeah, like you said, things transpired in turns 1 and 2, and then magically appeared in the safety of the back straightaway. And I think we had 4 cars that rolled to the finish line in probably 5 or 6 second intervals. I was one of them, and I couldn't see the guy behind me, and I could barely see the guy in front of me. It was a very interesting finish.
Right. Well, as we're in the middle of qualifying here, 2.5 minutes in, Joshua Yarbrough in the top spot in that 77 machine right there with a 49.902. He's that's cooking around this place, but that only beats Derek Gilray here in second. Well, as I say that, Austin Call goes to the top spot here, and Eddie Hagge goes to the top spot over Austin Call in that 97 machine with a 49.845. Smoking around this place in single car qualifying here. And here we have Barrett Flo in the 92 machine running that extreme high line, getting that momentum built up, a little bit of heat in the tires, a little bit less fuel in the tank. As Eddie Hagge holding that top spot. Currently, Barrett Flo comes across the line 16th on the first lap. You're going to see him holding that double yellow line here on the second time by. Sean Judson up to P5 with a 49.874. We're going to keep an eye here on the 92 machine of Barrett Flo. See what kind of lap time he's going to produce. He was pretty quick during the Busch Clash. Looking for him to make some big moves here tonight. With about 50 seconds left here in qualifying, several drivers not going to make a lap here. As Barrett Flo hits the apron to come across the line, he's going to go up to P5. Here's Steven Johnson taking the green flag. He may have enough time to make it back around. Right now, 21 cars have taken a time. We'll have to see if he has enough time to get one lap in here. He is entering turn 3 with about 10 seconds left. I don't think he's going to have enough time to make it back to the line. As the checkered flag flies, he did not get a time in there for Steven Johnson. So now the official lineup here in the SCL Winston Cup Series Round 1. Let's bring you the official starting lineup here. Have to get it going. All right, here we go. Here's your official starting lineup here tonight in the SCL Winston Cup Series. On the pole, Eddie Hagge in that 97 machine. Austin Call in second. Third is Derek Walker. Fourth, Kevin Hayes. Fifth, Justin Malarkey. Sixth, Barrett Flo. Seventh is Sean Judson. Eighth, Maxwell Caldwell. Ninth is Todd Merkel. 10th, Joshua Yarbrough. 11th is Derek Gilray. 12th, Michael Matta. 13th is going to be Dan Jones. 14th, Chris Vanderplatz. 15th is Michael Accord. 16th, Alan Hunter. 17th is Bill Miller. 18th, Doc Caldwell. 19th is Rob Green, followed by Andrew McKenzie in 20th. 21st is Larry McKenzie in 22nd, Braxton DeWeese. 23rd is Ryan Kelly and Mike Peters in 24th. In 25th is going to be Steven Johnson. 26th, Eric Schaus. 27th, Adam Lowe. 28th, Art Greco. 29th is Tillman Hewer. 30th, Randall Shelton. 31st is Josh Terrett Hill. 32nd, Robert Hammer. And rounding out the field in 33rd is Chris Myers in that 24 machine. And that is your official starting lineup here tonight for the SCL Winston Cup Series. Round 1 from Daytona International Speedway. As we are waiting for all the cars to grid, they're going to be doing their driver meeting here. As the field nears completion of gridding here. Waiting for them to roll off the pit road. So were there any surprises here in the starting lineup for you there, Mike?
Not really. This is always just kind of a little luck of the draw, and on iRacing, it does a great job as a simulator with track conditions, and I know it's a nice 69 degrees out there, but the track temp will come up and down, the wind will come up and down, so it's qualifying will kind of paint a little bit of a picture, but as you can tell too, I mean the field is got a difference of less than a tenth. The first 2 rows are separated by less than 2 thousandths. So once they get out there, they get rolling, and a lot of guys just throw away qualifying as well. So you'll see a lot of the guys didn't even try to qualify. There's some guys that have been champions in other leagues that I've seen on here. You've got Ryan Kelly and some of these other guys back here where they just selected just to not qualify. They're clearly just going to ride around the back, but kudos to the guys that did qualify, putting it up front. But qualifying, it's on these plate tracks, as you know, it paints a picture, but it's not a very clear picture. It's more of a modern art piece you'd see in a hallway lobby before you get in the elevator.
Absolutely, yeah. As the field rolls down the backstretch here, got a couple of cars trying to catch up. Notice I'm having a little bit of frame stutters here as the field groups together. Hopefully that will clear up in time. From time to time, I know usually every time iRacing updates, I get a little bit of frame stutter for the first few days. So hopefully that won't affect tonight's broadcast. Waiting for the pace car to peel off and go down pit road here. Pace car makes the hard left turn. The field resting in the hands of Eddie Hagge. Green flag is out here at Daytona to kick off season 33 of the SCL Winston Cup Series. 2 by 2, everyone gets a pretty decent start here. No one really leaning on each other just yet as they get up through the gears here. Not having the best start there, that 64 of Austin Call, as the 20 of Derek Walker jumps up, pick him up in the outside lane.
And Derek showed some real speed last week in our little preliminary preseason clash event. He was actually in the last lap going in, leading the field into turn 1 when that huge accident occurred. So to see him up front, that's really no surprise at all. Pink Camaro up there leading the pack on the outside line.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's not pink tonight.
We'll stick with that number 20 Chevy Camaro.
Screams down the backstretch at speed for the first time here. Derek Walker with about a car length lead in the high. Inside lane comes back with a little bit of a boost here, led by, I believe that's Kevin Haas in the 30.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job on that low line there. He's just keeping it tucked about probably a quarter to a half car off the yellow line. Just enough where you can carry some speed, but also just enough to where you don't get anybody trying to peek it down in there. You'll get a little bit of a momentum run here on the inside just because you're going down a shorter distance around the track, but then the outside line will start to really freight train you. I'm about halfway down here a little bit. Looks like Austin Call gave a little bit room off the back bumper to that 20, so the inside got a good run here. But we'll just see them go kind of back and forth for the first couple laps until somebody gets a little bit impatient. But yeah, he's doing a great job in that 30 car pulling that inside line.
Yes.
You got to be real organized down there to make that happen.
Yes, he is. He is definitely doing a fantastic job up there. As we see, I believe that is Eddie Haggy jump up to the outside lane to lead the charge in front of
Didn't take long for people to start doing a little bit of risk reward, changing lanes, starting out different bumpers for different people. We're on lap, what are we, lap 4, and we're getting wild already.
Yeah, and it's actually kind of the opposite of what I was expecting this early on. I was kind of expecting everyone to kind of chill out, get in line, and just log some laps, trying to make it to the end of this thing, given they only have one faster car. Oh, I just seen a car jacked way up there. That's that green and white car. I was there wrecking behind them.
It looks like everybody's going to hold on to it, though. So Derek Walker got a little bit loose up front, and then towards the back I saw Ryan Kelly and some of the guys. It looked like just a little bit of side drafting gone wrong, but hats off, all the guys in the back held on to it. We do have 2 clearly delineated packs, so it's a huge setback for the guys in the back. They're going to have to organize and try to catch up here if they don't want to lose that lead draft.
Let's see if we can figure out what car that was that was jacked way up in the air. It's that yellow car. That's the 2 of Todd Merkel, looks like. No? Maybe trying to figure out what car number that is.
In the race chat right now, it sounds like the number 30 car is expressing some concern on his internet, so it looks like he might be dropping back just a little bit. And that's a real interesting thing on the iRacing circuit lately. If someone lags, so one incredible thing about this is we can connect and race with people all over the planet. I mean, we can have someone in here from Australia, from unfortunately, one thing is if you got one guy that lags a little bit, his data gets corrupted going to the server. That's who knows where that is, and then it just kind of exacerbates down the line. So you'll see one of these guys blink for half a second, and then half the field will go missing. I know iRacing is working on it, but yeah, it is kind of one unfortunate thing about this. It's a lot easier to repair the cars because all you got to do is push the reset button, but they do some things in real life that they wouldn't normally do, which is go missing and come back, and sometimes they're in your car or who knows where, but it looks like it's all sorted out.
Yeah, and it can definitely create some pucker moments too whenever you're pushing a guy and all of a sudden he just disappears and you don't know where he's at.
It can be tricky. Sometimes he appears where you think he is. Sometimes they appear, like you said, doing a really cool hydraulic wheelie. You never really know. But looks like it's sorted out. Looks like everybody's being pretty smooth back here. We got a real organized front group here. Looks like they're trying to pull away from this back group. They're trying to stay organized. A couple guys in the back are a little unorganized, but we're on lap 7. It's 100 laps. It'll work itself out.
Yeah, and as I say that as we talk about that back group just got organized, looks like.
They've been working on it. A couple guys in the back they're trying to find their drafting partner, like we were talking about before the race started. A lot of these guys have raced together. There's a lot of new people here. I know myself is new to this league, and I'm excited to hopefully race in it next time when I learn how to manage my time and update my computer instead of logging on after work and doing it. But I think a lot of these guys are just feeling it out. They're looking at who can stay where they want to be, and different driving styles, side draft, who's going to take unnecessary risks. There's a lot of stuff that goes down that you really study as this race transpires. We'll go towards the back of this front pack now. They're starting to get too wide. Austin Call looks like he's trying to make a little offense. He's down the inside lane. He's got Sean Judson right behind him trying to push along, and they've got the red car that's back there too. I can't see the number of the 07 car.
Yeah, that's the 07 of Dan Jones. Yeah, so on the inside lane we have, it looks like Austin.
And now
Call.
We've got the 92 car pulling down as well. So he's them trying to make some offense, and look at the run they get. All you got to do is pull down. Austin's right on top of him. So this is kind of what we were talking about earlier, where it's, these guys are feeling it out. Who's going to go with me? Who's going to be stable? And one thing to look at, too, let's look at this 07 car here a little bit. He's kind of the little bit of gap on that front line. Now, these first three cars are just tucked together nose to tail. Austin Call is doing a great job here. Just glued to the back of that Barrett Flow car. Their line's very similar. You don't really see any zigzagging going on. They're staying about probably within a foot of each other on the line. And the 97 car, he's doing a great job too. But you drop back to the 07, and he's just, the dirty air moves these cars around. He's just not able to stay as smooth as these guys. So they're able to pull away. But keeping that nose tucked right on the guy as opposed to, that 1.5 to 2 feet that you let that little headlight peek out, that catches a ton of air. If you've ever put your hand outside the window going down the highway, that's a good amount of force. Now let's make your hand where it's about 2 foot by 3 foot. That's the parachute that we're doing where we're not keeping nose to tail and in line. So you're going to see these guys up front working real well together. And it looks like Derek Walker, as well as the 19 car and the 77 of Josh Yarbrough, they're getting organized. So once they get some help, I think you'll see these three say, hey, we're working really good together here. Let's try to make a move. But they're going to need the 07 or Todd Merkel in the 2 car. They're going to need one of them to pull up and give them just a little bit of help. So yeah, I mean, it's getting interesting, but I think you're seeing some guys say, hey, I like working with this guy. It's going to get me a good spot. Let's stick together here. So I think we're going to see a trend of this 20 to 19, 77 all sticking together, and the 97 to 64, and the guy up front staying together too.
Yeah, that's a great analysis. That's definitely some good insight there. And what you said about the 07 car right there of Dan Jones, I noticed, let's see if we can get a closer look at that 07 machine. You see the hood on the left front. I believe he was one of the cars involved in that skirmish we seen a little bit earlier. Possibly a little bit of damage on that 07 car, not allowing him to really pull up and lead a line. He has to kind of stay tucked in line.
And iRacing did a good job with the physics on it too, where you see that gap between him and the 97 car. Now, he's not really going to be able to close that gap on his own. Now, if the 2 car of Todd Merkel and the 46 of Derek Gilray can kind of get up there, they'll push him, which is happening right now. So if he can get that dented fender, if he comes up the track just about probably half the lane, he'll be able to get that damage out of the clean air into the dirty air, and then he'll be able to suck right up on him. And he's got that help now. But I don't think you're going to see him really pulling out and taking some initiative on his own. But as you can see, the moment that fender gets in the air, it just kind of drops him back a little bit. So, but the good news is he's got a fast repair, and it looks like we're actually turning some pretty decent laps here without any major trouble as they bunch up a little bit, as I say to that. If he gets that fast repair, I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, I believe so also. And he may actually just try to fix it on pit road without using a fast repair and maybe try to bide his time. As there we see the 8 of Braxton DeWeese getting lapped here. Oh, there's a little bit of contact made between Walker and DeWeese. They were able to keep it straight and gathered up.
Yeah, I think this little bit of traffic up front is really going to help because we haven't checked on them in a while. But if you drop back to the 17 car of Michael LaCour and Ryan Kelly and Alan Hunter and Eric Schaus back here, that back line is extremely organized. At least the first 4 cars of Schaus, Hunter, Kelly, and LaCour, they're nose to tail. I mean, they're pushing each other too. When you see them doing the slinky effect, they're really trying to give a little bump draft there, but then it kind of, the guy in the 14 car, if we want to go to his in car, the 14 car of Alan Hunter, as you can see, Ryan Kelly's all over the 17 of Michael LaCour, but you really can't see through the 13 car. So you got to give a little bit of a cushion there, that way you don't just jam them up. But they're doing a good job trying to push each other back up to this lead pack here. And these are all the guys that got really loose coming off the 4 earlier. And you can see the distance that it's put between the 2 packs. But if they can stay organized like this, and the guys up front are a little racing.
They're wrecking in front of them. Oh!
We've got wrecking Gilray.
Holy cow. As the first yellow of the night comes out, we were riding along there with Alan Hunter as we seen him narrowly miss that incident there. Holy cow.
A lot of cars involved. We got Robert Hammer. It looks like Maxwell Caldwell in the 94 getting torn up in that one. Joshua Yarbrough in the 77, Dan Jones, Alan Hunter, Michael Accord. Man, a lot of good cars taken out here. Michael Matta's involved, Eric Schaus.
So let's go back to the replay here and see if we can figure out what happened. So here we're following Kevin Haas. So he was blinking a little bit ahead of that, so we're going to have to ride along with the 46, Derek Gilray. Oh, he was getting some hard hits right there. Let's back it up just a little bit more here. All right, so we're going to follow along with the 46 of Derek Gilray. He's that Tony the Tiger machine right there, and we're going to do a little bit of a slow motion once we get up here. Okay, so we see the 20 of Walker come down to the 07, but the 77 looks like he just got loose and just
that's
down and hit the 46.
Yeah, I was just looking at that as well. You got some offense happening up here with the two lanes, and man, I'm not really sure. It looks like Yarbrough, like you said, got loose. You see the 07 come up. Yeah, I'm not really sure. That's very strange. But yeah, the 77, Josh Yarbrough just gets loose, comes down, collects Derek Gilray. Gilray goes straight in the wall. Unfortunately, he collects the 16, which is absolutely nowhere to go. The Michael Matta car. Michael does a great job of keeping it off the wall, though. But behind him, man, they just pile up Michael Accord into the wall. There's a lot of things going on here. The good news is they do have that fast repair. Definitely don't want to use it on lap 12, though. So they're going to have to do some different strategies to make it to the end here.
Oh, wow. I just noticed this. Looks like the 6, Andrew McKenzie. We're going to have to ride along with him. Looks like he's going to give us a fantastic shot of this. Narrowly missing.
And this is that backpack, too. They were doing a good job of being organized, but you're going to see here what we were talking about, which you don't really see things, so it's a little bit too late. But he does a great job just threading the needle, slowing it down, keeping the car in motion to try to get through the cars as they're moving, and he's able to keep it clean and get through there. So great driving by Andrew McKenzie there.
Yes, it is, considering how late he was. He had to react to that. I mean, that's amazing to see the quickness and how good the brakes are on these cars. So with that being said, under caution here, it looks like the 77 of Joshua Yarbrough is going to come out with the lead here in P1.
Yeah, it looks like some of them are still cycling through pit stops as well, so I'm curious to see what this all shakes out to be, because some of these guys will have used fast repairs, some will have taken tires, not taken tires, so we'll see what this shakes out to be.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, let's see if we can find the 07 here of Dan Jones. See if he took a fast repair here. Looks like he did. That car looks really clean to just have been fixed with sitting on pit road. Let's actually look at his last pit time. Looks like he spent almost just shy of 7 seconds on pit road. So he definitely took a fast repair. He definitely took a fast repair for sure. All right, so it looks like the 77 got an EOL for starting that incident. I'm going to send him to the back of the longest line. So on the front row, here's going to be Austin Call and Barrett Flo leading to the green here as the lights are out on the pace car, signaling we are going back green flag racing this time by to take the green flag on lap 19 of the scheduled 100 laps here tonight.
So it looks like after these pit cycles and everything, we got Austin Call sitting up front ready to take this thing. Looks like we got... it's hard to read these numbers a little bit sometimes. I got to give you guys props, too. This is hard to keep up with, a lot harder than I thought it would be. We got Barrett Flo on the outside here as we get ready to hopefully lights go out on the pace car.
Oh, looks like they've added a lap.
Yeah, I'm listening to race control here. Some of the guys in the back, there's a little confusion on where everybody's gridding. Sometimes the EOLs are tricky too. So we're going to give it an extra lap, let everybody get sorted out, let them get all double filed up. That's a great chance for us to kind of go through the field as well and just check in on all these guys. So like I said, we got Austin Call here on the inside front row, keeping it nice and clean on the outside. We got the 92 car.
In the second row, we're going to have the 2 of Todd Merkel on the outside and the 19 of Sean Judson on the inside.
Then on lap 3, we've got Eddie Hagley. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. If I'm saying it wrong, please correct me later. He's also done a great job keeping it clean in row 3. And then outside of him, we're going to have that 97 car, the 73 car is in front of him. That's Justin Malarkey. And then the 97 on the outside of row 3.
In row 4, we're going to have Ryan Kelly and Maxwell Caldwell in that 94 machine.
And then right behind them, got lost there. Right behind them, we're going to have the 14, Alan Hunter in that Toyota Camry. And then on his outside, hanging back just a little bit, we're going to have Rob Green, that number 29 Menards Mustang.
And that's your top 10 rundown as they enter turn 3 here, getting ready to go back green flag racing on lap 20 now as we are nearing a quarter of the way through this event. And as things start to settle down, we'll do another full field rundown here. And definitely shaken up, a little bit different than what I was expecting this beginning portions of the race. And one thing I just thought about on how the 77 car got loose there as the pace car peels off and we are back green flag racing. 7 miles an hour across this track from north to south. So that could actually create loose conditions in 1 and 2 like we just seen in the top conditions in 3 and 4.
Yeah, and one of the things SCL has done with the setups on these cars too is try to make it to where the cars are a little bit more free and will move around. So that previous accident too, you'll notice a couple of the cars crossing over up in front. iRacing's done a really good job for a game in the simulator to where the dirty air gets thrown around, and sometimes you'll be riding that high line up on that wall, and all of a sudden the car just really frees up or moves. And if you're giving it input at just the wrong time, it can get quite dicey. And already off the start, we've got a couple guys who didn't quite make it through the gear smoothly, so we're going to see 2 big packs. Man, I'll tell you what, if this backpack here, Jacob, doesn't get organized real quick and they want to have a side-by-side contest, they're going to be fighting for 23rd position or whatever this is. So that lead pack's going to check out, and they'll be sending Merry Christmas cards by the time this race is over.
Yeah, they will. And it's funny you say that. I just back there to look at them. And yeah, they are dicing it up. There's no organization whatsoever back here from about, looks like maybe 12th on back.
If we go to this front pack here, they're doing what they need to do. Somebody's got a mirror, and they're clearly communicating here, because that front pack, they're on that inside line. They're single file. They're right and tight. I think the last 2 cars, the 29 and can't read the other number all the way in the back there. But if they don't tuck it down there, it's not worth for 11th position trying to go around a guy. The 24 and the 97 here, if they side drive you, they're going to lose that front pack. It's not worth it on lap 22, but hey, it's a race. That adrenaline gets flowing. Sometimes you get that red mist, and you're like, I got to get around this guy, or we're going to lose him. But unfortunately, that mindset that these 3 cars here, the 24, 29, 97, that front pack is, it's checked out. They're seeing you later.
Yeah, and as we're looking back here at the second pack once again, watching them come down the backstretch, they look like a huge snake, just 2 lines of snake. And it's crazy to think, we got a car sideways, about near looping it around out of turn 4.
Yeah, Josh Hill got a little bit of help on that bumper there, pushed him down the apron, but he held it together, and now he's going to be holding on for dear life, just hoping and praying that second pack doesn't leave him alone, because he's not going to be a third pack. He's going to be hung out. That's rough.
That inside line right here, I'm trying to figure out what car that is. Looks like that may be the 3 of Chris Vanderplot's with no number on it.
He might have his numbers a little differently. It's showing up on my screen, but yeah, he ran with us in the clash last week. He was fast. He was able to hold the line real smooth. I enjoyed drafting with him quite a bit because it was just very predictable. He keeps that car. If you watch him closely, if he's doing like he was doing the other night, he'll keep that car right out of half lane above that double yellow line the whole way around. He's really easy and good to draft with. I'm kind of shocked nobody in that back pack has figured it out yet, but everyone changes by the day sometimes too. Emotions change, patience change. We might not be seeing the same driver that we had last week in that car, even though it's the same person. It's always fluid with, the intensity and stuff like that. But I'm kind of surprised to see him back there. He was doing a really great job last weekend, but at the same time too, it's lap 24, lap 100. He might just be trying to stay out of trouble back there. Who knows?
Yeah, and speaking of trying to stay out of trouble, that 46 machine right there of Derek Gilray looks like he is not on the lead lap, and he's back here in this second pack that is just now starting to get formed and organized. And he's over there biting his nails trying to make it to the end of this thing.
Yeah, he's in a good spot though. They're single file on the outside. And Derek, he's got that Tony the Tiger Frosted Flakes Camaro looking really good. He does all of his own paints too, so it's always kind of fun to see what he comes out there with. Right now, it looks like he's on our early 2000s Terry Labonte kick, but no, he's in a good spot. He is a lap down, but he's going to be banking on whenever that caution comes back out, he can mind his own business. Nobody's really being dicey around him. He knows who's behind him. He's raced with those guys before. He's playing it safe, minding his own business. I think as long as he can just keep doing that, in time he'll be okay. If this goes green, I'll be shocked and it won't play out for him. But if he gets another yellow, he should be in the free pass slot right now. So I think he'll be okay. He's just riding. This whole second pack seems to understand they need to catch the front pack. I don't know if the high side's the way to do it, but it looks like that's what they're doing. And the good thing is they're all doing the same thing. So that's the best shot they got.
Yeah, and like you said, though, running the high lane, not the best way to get around this track. That's the longest way around. As we see the 07 jump out of line, possibly getting hot there. And, as we see Derek Gilray get loose right there, entering 3. He's in the wall. Yeah,
he's in the wall a little bit. He's having a hard time keeping the hands full on that thing. So when you get tucked up right up on the back bumper like Michael Accord's doing, iRacing did do a good job with the air model to where it actually will pick up your spoiler and they won't be touching you at all. But man, that steering wheel, you'll move it a good 20 degrees left and right while you're going around the corner, which on a plate track, that's a little sketchy. And it's when you're running that high line, you do get an extra mile an hour or two of momentum out of it, but it's just, at what cost? If the car gets a little loose, you don't have the extra, 35 feet of cushion that you do off the yellow line. You've got, maybe 35 inches as he catches the wall just a little bit right there. It looks like Michael Accord, Eric Schaus, and these guys are going to go around him. Clearly they're trying to work with him, but gets into Schaus, and we've got a guy going around. What a rough turn of events there. It's not how you want to get involved in something there. It's not good.
So we have the second caution of the night here. Looks like Derek Gilray is going to tow it to the pits. Be a tough night for him. Let's see if we can figure out exactly what happened back here. As we go back to the yellow flag, we're going to follow along with Derek Gilray here. But he has been the center of a lot of the 2 incidents here. It's like he was loose and got back in the wall. Oh, it looks like he was loose right there. And a little bit of net code possibly with the 12 machine. That ended up turning the 12 machine into the outside wall. Oh, the 16 and looks like the 07. Nowhere to go. I believe that's the 07.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. Let's while we've got a second here, let's check in on some of these guys. Let's see let's drag we can drag old Maxwell Caldwell in here, see how he's going.
Yeah, let's check on him. Hey there, Maxwell Caldwell. You got a copy? Hey, man, how's this race going for you so far? Up there currently running P7?
Oh, yeah. It's been crazy. There at the start, we had that wreck that wasn't a caution in the front stretch that I got kind of squirrely on the apron and lost the draft. I was running in the very back and then finally did get a caution, and it's caught me back up here and somehow cycled me up front. But now I'm going to come in here and top his fuel tank off and see if we can restack the strategy here.
Yeah, man. Are you kind of surprised with how hectic it's been already early in this race, or is it kind of calm, or are you expecting it to ratchet up even more?
Sorry, I was getting in the box. No, I expected this. It's Daytona. It's the first race of the season, and these next gens can be a little bit squirrely in the daytime here. So, just trying to make sure I keep my teammates in it here of Ryan Kelly and Todd Merkel, and seeing if we can't get this beautiful new Merkel's Racing Engines Chevy here to maybe victory lane tonight. Got him on the card for this season. Excited about that. So, hopefully we can take this fresh paint to victory lane in its first race.
All right, man. Well, Mike, you have anything for Maxwell here?
How many more cautions are we going to have out there, brother?
Man, I don't know. I told the guys a while ago I'm pretty well expecting a green flag run at some point. They didn't want to pit, and I'm like, you may want to because you never know when you're going to get that long green run. But 70 to go. We've already had, 2 cautions now? I expect probably at least another 2 or 3, and that may be just right there at the end of the race because if we get one with 20 to go, it's going to be cautions, breed cautions, I'm afraid.
That's what I was wondering what y'all's strategy is do y'all think y'all might kind of stay out a little bit, or are you guys going to try to, what are you guys going to run it out, or do you not want to disclose that information on the broadcast at this time, or what's the strategy? What are you guys talking about doing out there? Talk us through it.
Well, I guess my answer is I have no clue. Haven't done a long enough run. I'm used, Mike, from Area 51 days, I'm used to 70% fuel, not 100%, so I'm trying to figure out what the fuel window really is and where we need to go to make that final stop. But we pretty well think from here it's just a one-stopper to the end, so just finding where to time that. But you may just wait on the caution, honestly, to come get that fuel and let that be your final stop. So we'll just have to play it by ear and see how it goes.
That's some great feedback. We appreciate you talking to us real quick in the broadcast. You want to give a shout-out to anybody real quick that might be listening out there while we got you on?
Oh, man, just shout out to my teammates here in racing with. Shout out to Todd Merkel. Thanks again to him for sponsoring me this season. Got this paint fresh last night. Got it at about midnight last night to get it put on. So It's had about 8 hours of work put in it by one of my good friends. So I think it came out looking sharp, and I'm wanting to do Todd proud here and see if we can get us up there in the top 3 to kick his season off right. And then thankful again to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because without him I wouldn't be here. And just thankful to you guys in the booth. Y'all are doing an excellent job. I got y'all playing over here on the side so I can keep up with all the yellows and things going on.
Well, hopefully you don't catch me in the booth again on Monday. Maybe I'll learn how to update my computer next time. But awesome, man. We appreciate the feedback, and hopefully we'll be talking to more of you guys as the race progresses, and hopefully you guys can stay in it. So we'll let you get back down there and go back to your strategy that you probably weren't very honest on. And you guys have fun out there. Keep it safe.
10-4. Y'all enjoy it up there.
Thank you. That was Maxwell Caldwell, the driver of the 94 machine, right there that you see on the screen. I'm a poet, didn't even know it.
There you go. Let this be a warning to all you guys driving. If you want to interview, better hop on the Discord channel so we can drag you up in here. So.
Yeah, and then we'll also get to talk to our top 3 finishers here tonight and get their inputs on how the race went for them. And, a lot of these guys are chomping at the bit. Not to get interviewed nonetheless, but just to get up there and have a fantastic points day to start the season off. As the pace car makes that hard left-hand turn, we're getting ready to go back green flag racing as we got a car looping it around under the caution here. Green flag is back out here at Daytona. Austin Call hard on that skinny pedal with the 73 of Justin Malarkey hot on his trail. But here comes Todd Merkel and Derek Walker to the outside lane. No help behind Walker as it may get to him here about the time they get to turn 3 with that 97 machine of Eddie Hagee. Yeah, I believe this wind is playing heck on these drivers here. As you see these drivers, contact between Merkel and Call. Out of turn 4. That's going to put him 3 wide for the lead.
Yeah, we're 3 wide up here. We're getting dicey. Todd's trying to get back in line. He's barely going to clear himself up in the top lane. Risky move by Todd. Went for that 3 wide. Realized it wasn't going to work. Tried to get in the 97. 97 wasn't having any of that. And look at what we've got going on here. Like we were talking about earlier, we got the 20 car Derek Walker glued to the 97. We've got Austin Call and the 73 glued together. We're seeing some of these guys where they're like, you know what? I know what to expect with you. I'm going to tuck them right up on there. And I think we're going to see some really fortified front rows here where they're just going to be really hard to get around these 2 guys that are linked up like that on the front row. They're working together. They're understanding what they're going to do. It's going to be real hard to get around those guys once they get organized like that. So you're going to have to see some 3 wide side draft stuff, which is definitely going to happen. Hopefully not on lap 35. But it's going to start coming. You're going to see a little bit more stuff like that. It's going to start to get a little dicier here.
Yeah, and I'm really expecting it to kind of ratchet up for a few, maybe 10, 15 laps around probably lap 60, 70, somewhere off in there towards probably the end of this fuel run. And drivers trying to make moves, figure out what they can and can't do, where they still have time to recover if it doesn't pay off. And kind of figure out what they have for the end of this thing. And then once we get about 10 to 15 to go, you could throw that book out the window. At that point, I don't think you have any friends.
Looks like we had a couple cars kind of held back there, too. It looks like we got in the back of the pack. I don't know if you can go back to them, but it looks like we got a couple cars hanging back here all by themselves. We got Josh Yarborough. Man, he was having a good night and he's got caught up in some stuff. We'll see if he can pull it back together. Dan Jones back there in the 07 Camaro. And Randall Shelton back here. Haven't really seen him a lot. He's in the 31 car back here. He's just trying to pull this little back line along and try to stay organized and see if we can get caught back up there. Looks like they're probably a 3 to 4 second gap.
Yeah, and I believe the car that was out of control there coming to the green was this 44 machine of Steven Johnson. I don't know if he accidentally downshifted and caused that car to wheel hop maybe or chatter, caused him to lose a little bit of control. But he's definitely paying the prices. We're 3 wide with Braxton DeWeese up here in the middle of this front pack.
We're getting a little risky up here. This is what I was talking about. You see some guys where they're not happy with their partner or they just decide they're going to bail on it. Like Derek Walker was up front the whole time. He ran real good in the clash, and I'm not sure what happened, but his partner bailed on him, said, hey, it's been real, it's been fun, but I'm out of here. Michael Ford gets super loose, and we got trouble out of 4. Ford holds it together, but big contact on the inside wall there for the other car. Looks like no caution.
Trying to figure out, Michael Accord is the car that went way down to the inside.
Yeah, and the 24 car, Chris Myers, trying to keep it together. His suspension's just destroyed on that car. Oh, he's going to try to keep it going. No caution. Awful, tough break for Chris Myers. And he's got a broken toe link on the back of that car, and he's just trying to limp it down. That's just heartbreaking.
Yeah, that Garza Law Firm machine right there, he's definitely limping it around, having a hard time keeping it straight. Maybe he'll be able to limp it back around under his own power without bringing out the yellow here. Michael Accord, though, man, that's a tough break for him also.
Yeah, Myers is a big challenge here as he's trying his best to get that car back to pit road. He knows it's hurt. He knows it's unstable, but he also knows he's not going to get a caution, so he needs to get back to pit road as quick as he can. Burn that fast repair. Hope that, this might be something too where you see him just stop, not even take tires. So everything he can to stay 1 lap down because he's going to get laps. But the question is, how many times? He's going to get lapped once or twice? It looks like he's not even going to come to pits. Bold move there. Not something that I would have done. But looks like he's going to try to keep it together. Maybe that car's stabled out at speed. But, man, with how rough it was looking on that apron, I'm surprised he's getting around here. He's up to about 173, so he's not far off pace for no draft. But, man, by yourself, no help, damage, that's a risky call.
Yes, it is. And back up at the front here, Eddie Hagge leading the charge on the inside line with Austin Call in tow. And on the outside line, we have Justin Malarkey with the help of Braxton DeWeese on that outside line.
I'm going to give it to Austin Call. He's been up there all day. Staying out of trouble. 97 car and the 73 car as well. It is good to see Austin up there, though. I had the opportunity to meet him this weekend. We kicked off our Southern Premier Racing Series event, Houston Motorsports Park. I know you were going to try to come down there. I got to talk to some guys in the pits. It was my first time having an opportunity to race out there. I had several guys come up and say, hey, I'm doing the iRacing League, and that was like super exciting. I remember Austin came up, introduced himself, and it was like, I remember from last week, but it's cool to see a guy that came out to the racetrack this weekend. He's super excited about the league, gives him a chance to race with some guys. And he's doing a great job up there. He's staying out of trouble, nice, smooth, square bump drafts on this. Him and the 97 car working really well together. But man, it's really good to see him up there doing a great, absolutely excellent job out there.
As we see a little change in the lineup there on the outside lane, looks like Braxton DeWeese was able to get around Justin Malarkey and is now leading that outside lane as he has a little bit of a blink there, causing Malarkey to back off.
And don't look too far back, because Gareth Walker's back up there too in that outside lane. You can tell he's kind of hesitant to really push these guys. You might be looking for him to maybe make a lane swap here in front of Merkel here in a second. You can see he tries to get this little bit of a run, and then just kind of stays back there. So that tells us he's trying to either manipulate the air and maybe look for a hole and maybe keep his options open, or maybe he's just not quite comfortable with that 72 car. I believe that's Eric Schaus. But don't count him out. He's back up there. He's come and gone a few times, and look for him to make some offense here in a minute as these front guys, rightfully so, kind of tuck down. Oh no!
Braxton DeWeese. Looks like he did not make any contact with that wall. We're going to have to...
Yeah, he stayed clear. He got big loose off of 4, comes down, and man, holds it together. Great job. But he's going to lose this lead pack. But the good news is there's a couple packs behind him, so I think he'll be okay.
Let's go back and take a ride with him and see what this looked like from his perspective. See him enter turn 3 here in the lead. That's why you see no cars in front of him. Oh yeah, just big loose.
And back up front, we've got the 24 car getting finally caught up. Man, that was tight there for a second. Some 3-wide action. He did a good job holding it up high, but man, really pinched the leaders there, and I don't think a couple of them saw it coming. But yeah, we're still getting kind of dicey up here up front as well. 97 car holding it strong on that inside lane. Eddie Haggy. Man, he's doing a really good job up there in that Camaro.
Yes, he is. And I find it kind of funny. He knew his name was hard to pronounce, and so he sent me a message before the race started, and he told me, he goes, I don't know if you're the broadcaster or not. He goes, but my name's pronounced Haggy, and he spelled it out like in the dictionary form. And I thought that was pretty cool, but I'm glad he did, because I would have been butchering his name all race long. And just glad he was able to do that. But he's definitely putting on a show out here tonight.
He's doing a great job. He's making that high lane work, the low lane work. And that's the thing, too, where it really takes some actual skill and some time put in. If you watch him, he's able to move that car. He runs the low line, comes up just a little bit to make sure nobody has a run, but he's ready to move that car wherever it needs to be to stay out front and keep that 73 just glued to his back bumper. And the 14 as well. And you can see these guys really trying to do a big push and breakaway. But, man, just excellent control by the Haggy car here. I mean, again, just watching how he's going to come up just a little bit, make sure nobody's got to run, right back down to the yellow line. Like, they're not going to go out there. I'm going to go right back to the bottom. This is textbook how to run the front of one of these things. And as long as they stay nose to tail back there, I don't really see anybody getting around them. They're going to need some real help. You might be able to get a little peek or anything, but the way he's running that, you see the 73 trying to get a little bit of real estate to get a little bit of speed, get a little bit of run. He's going to try to come back down, get some air, and then pop back up. Realize it's not going to happen, tucks right back down. So great job by the 97 car, being able to block and manipulate the air there. With 73, he's trying, but it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, and along with that, it also helps with their visibility to see around the car in front as they're entering the corner as well.
It kind of does. So if you watch what the 73 is going to do, because I do this quite a bit, you'll go in the corner and you can't see anything in front of you. You go to his cockpit view here. Let's go check out that cockpit view. All you're going to see is the back of that roll cage there. But when you peek up about half a lane, that's all you see. But you know where that guy's going to be. You know he's going to be on that yellow line, so that gives you a chance to come down just a little bit, catch a little bit of air, close the distance, and then that little peak that he's trying to do, what he's hoping is going to happen is that he gets just enough run. He can peek out, and the moment that he can get that front bumper to dump just the tiniest bit of air on that rear spoiler 97 car, you can catch that side draft, you can get a run, but you got to hope that 14 stays with you. 14's, he's in a good spot. If the 73 gets a real good run, he feels like that outside's going to work. He's now got the draft off of both cars in front, 97 and the 73. And he can say, is Todd Merkel going to go with me in that 2 car? And he can make a decision. He can either hang out that 73 car, or they can try to get around that 97. But the 97 is doing such a good job of controlling that. I don't see them getting around. We're going to have something where, a couple of the guys get compromised, maybe let that 97 car get a little too much air, and then he gets freight trained by 2 lanes. That's really the only way I see them getting around him at this time. I mean, he's just doing a great job getting up there, and there's just not a lot you can do from behind. You can get these little runs like the 73 is trying to do right now. 14 is trying to push him. The timing wasn't quite right, so they're just not going to go anywhere. But, I don't see them getting around this car without, some more dramatic side-by-side racing in the back of it.
Man, I got to tell you, you were doing a fantastic job on this analysis here tonight. Definitely a huge help here. I just want to give you a shout out here on the broadcast.
I know a little bit about video gaming because I've done a little bit of video gaming, so we'll stay with that. No, this is really fun to watch though from the outside. I go back and watch the replays sometime, and it's fun to watch it. But watching it live with these guys, this is cool. This is fun. I definitely want to drive instead of come hang out with you next time. But no, this is fun. Thanks for having me up here. Man, Walker gets loose there too. So we're finally starting to see some offense happen. That white Camaro on the outside lane back there. Looks like that one's going to be. I think that's Art Greco in the 72 car. I can't really read the number. It looks like he's trying to make something happen. Looks like he got a little bit tired of. He's like, you know what, Todd? It's been real. It's been fun. I'm over it. So they're trying to get something working on the outside lane. If they can get something going and one more guy pops up, I think we'll finally see some offense here.
As the 14 car there of Alan Hunter got a little bit of a bad push out of turn 2. Barrett Flo making a push on that 72 of Art Greco. They're making a run to the front here.
Yeah, they're trying. And here comes Austin Call and Derek Walker. So these guys know what they're doing. They've been waiting for just what's happening right here. We finally got a second lane going. We got some guys that can push. I think we're going to see this outside start to really make a run here. If the 72 of Greco can get a good side draft, so they're going to have a little more speed because they're turning the wheel less and they're scrubbing just a little bit less. So they're going to have a little bit of a run coming out of the corner. So if they can time this right, get a little bit of side draft. Doesn't look like they're going to do this time, but if they can time it right and get that side draft, you'll see them make a big run on the outside, which actually I stand corrected. Excellent job. They're going to push themselves way out front. And these front 3 cars, they're clear to come down. Will they do it? Oh, they're going to leave Derek Walker hanging high and dry, but we got a new leader, and it's Art Greco in that 72 Camaro.
Yeah,
Oh, no. We got another big movement off 4.
Trying to figure out who that is there. That looks like...
I think it's a 73 car.
Yeah, the 73, of Justin Malarkey.
And Malarkey was doing such a great job up there, too. Didn't catch any damage. You got 49 laps to go. You got a second pack way back there. Let's gather it up. Let's keep on chumming here. He's
the 14 really loose of Alan Hunter out of turn 2. Had to chase it down almost halfway to the inside wall.
Yeah, I saw that too, man. these tires can get greasy. The air comes off these cars, and sometimes it just takes that little bit of over input to get that back end to step out. And we're really starting to see some of these cars get big loose as they come off the corners here. So it's not something you typically see at Daytona. We are running. This is the old. So one cool thing about iRacing is you can capture whatever you want as far as the track. So this is actually the old Daytona before the repave. So it does slick off. It's got some big bumps in it, and we're starting to see that. Some of these guys might not be used to that. They might be used to running the iRacing new Daytona version with that smooth, fresh, grippy pavement. This is the old, worn-out stuff that they were running mid-COT era. So we're starting to see that track not really offer any grip at all. And those cars, man, they're moving around a lot more than I thought they would have. It's right there, the 97 car, man, 3 of them get loose. This is going to get dicey. There's not a lot of grip out there. Not something you normally see at Daytona. But then again, last time I checked it, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure when they ran Daytona a couple weeks ago, it wasn't on the same track they ran in 2011. I'm pretty sure in the real world, they're running 2022 Daytona.
Right.
So this is interesting to see this play out.
Yeah, and like you said, it's very interesting, and it's creating some fantastic racing, along with some huge saves. And one thing, I just want to give a shout out to these drivers here in tonight's race that are able to collect these machines after they get that out of shape. You don't see that in the next gens. These cars have no side force whatsoever, so when they step out, they're out. Like there's very slim chance of catching that and able to regain control. So these drivers that are able to do it, my hat's off to them, because I've ran these cars a lot on super speedways, or any track really.
Yeah, and at Daytona too. Yeah, and at Daytona too, this is not a place where you see these kind of movements. This is a big, the train right here, they're going a smooth 190 miles an hour sustained down the back straightaway here. So when they come off those corners, this is one of the fastest exits you'll see in the next gen, and the input you're given is so small. So when that car steps out, it's not like you're going to give a proportionate wheel. You got to really put some wheel into it to catch this thing. And, when you're going 190 miles an hour, you're covering a football field very quickly. So, the distance you go over, to say that it's a handful on these things. These guys are, like you said, they're doing a great job keeping these things together. This track gets really slick, and these cars just have no air on them whatsoever.
Yeah, as we pull up the top speed here of these drivers, looks like we're tied for the fastest speed across the line. Actually, we are not. Art Greco back here in 10th. He is the fastest car on track across the line at 203 miles an hour.
That's incredible.
And then we're tied for second with a few cars at 198 miles an hour. And that's insane, especially at a restrictor plate track in these next gens where they're choked down on power, to be running 200 plus at a super speedway.
Well, we'll see how long that lasts. I was reading the good old internet the other day, and I heard that the cars are going to get 700 horsepower, no spoilers next year. So we'll be looking at 260 probably in the next update.
Oof, that would be that's rough. And as we go back to this second pack here, led by the 77 of Joshua Yarbrough, we got Yarbrough, Hewer, Vanderplots, Miller, Malarkey, Josh Terrett Hill's in this. So is Randall Shelton. Rob Green's kind of out by himself in no man's land there. Braxton DeWeese running back here in 20th, running with this third pack. Looks like it has led by the 44 of Steven Johnson and a few other lap cars, as you see the lead pack coming into the picture behind it.
Yeah, this lead pack, they're just staying really organized. They're covering some quick ground, but also to show how quick they're going. It wasn't too long ago that we had up front, and he's dropped back. He got loose off of 4, and then the back pack's got that 97 car in it. He was just up front, but this pack's caught him. Or I'm sorry, I got mixed up in my cars.
Talking about the 73?
Yeah, the 73 car.
Yeah.
He was just up there, but now he's back in this backpack, and they're trying to stay. And there's some really good cars back here, too. Josh Yarborough, he's always, kind of a dark horse guy. He finds himself up front. Every once in a while at the end, he can be there. That 3 car, Chris Vanderplatte, really fast in the clutch. The 73 car, we saw him up front, mixing it up, battling for the lead. He's back here trying to catch up now. But then you got some guys, too, where they're back here as well. I mean, they're trying to stay organized. We got Dan Jones again, that 07 car. Josh Hill in that 21 car. He had that big movement. He just could not catch a break on any of the restarts. He's back here trying to keep it going. And that thing looks pretty clean, too. It looks like it's been not damaged too badly. I know we got bumped pretty rough on some of those restarts and torn up, but that 21 car looks like it's in good shape. No real damage. And we got Randall Shelton again. Haven't heard a lot out of him today. He's kind of minding his own business back here, cruising along, staying nice and smooth, giving a good amount of space. They're trying to, they can stay organized like this. I think they'll be okay. So really good cars in that pack that can maybe push this thing back towards the front, although they've got a lot of ground to catch up to that lead pack.
Yeah, and like you said, a lot of really good cars back here just trying to hang on and claw their way back to stay in contention if a caution comes back out on this thing, or possibly, and this is a word you probably don't hear very often at a super speedway, pit strategy.
I was just thinking about that same thing, and we were talking to Max earlier, and he said he didn't know what to do. That's not something that you really think of in this. People always do something kind of risky, and I'm just not really seeing it today. Even this front lead pack, if we go up here, it's a 10-car pack. It's extremely organized. Art Greco was out front, but now he's in the back of the pack. We'll just kind of work our way forward in this front pack here. We got Art Greco in that number 72 Camaro. He's running 10th. He's been out front. Right in front of him, we got Ryan Kelly at number 13 Dinoco car. Kind of a tribute to the cars thing as we come up on some lap cars here. He's a guy, he's always been fast. He won a couple of our preseason, off-season for fun races. Ryan's always fast. He's just smooth hanging out tonight. Look for him. Right in front of them, or right in front of Ryan, that 14 car. Alan Hunter was doing such a good job earlier, pushing guys to the lead.
So we have green flag stops happening now. Looks like Joshua Yarborough, Bill Miller, and Randall Shelton on pit road.
Here's that strategy we were talking about earlier. Some of these guys, are we going to have to pit under green? Now we're starting to see it. They're making their bet, and it's one of those things where you're going to see some guys pit early. And what they're banking on is, I'm pretty sure a lot of these guys haven't practiced green flag stops. The communication might not be there. You don't want to see it, but you got to kind of accept there's a high likelihood as people start diving on pit lane, all it's going to take is one person that's like, man, I got, this lead pack here. We'll keep a close eye on this lead pack. Alan Hunter, Maxwell Caldwell, Sean Judson, Derek Walker, Todd Merkel, Eddie Hagley, Austin Call, Brett Flo. I mean, these guys are going to have to pit for fuel. The question is, when are they going to pit, and who's going to get caught off? Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to be running, let's say, Sean Judson in this 19 W car. You don't want to be in a position where you're going and you're thinking, am I going to pit? Am I going to pit? And all of a sudden you see the 3 guys in front of you dive in the pit, and you're like, man, I got to get on the pit, but it's too late. Because then what happens is everybody behind you is going to dive in, then you're on your own. So, the real dangerous thing about going under green here is a lot of these guys on iRacing, you're not going to have a spot, or you're not going to have communication. It's just going to take that one guy that gets forced in that possible situation. Do I try to send it onto pit road, or do I try to risk it? If he tries to send it on pit road, all it takes is one person in front of him just bumbling up just a little bit, and then you got a wreck getting in the pits, and that just never ends well. So this could get really dicey. So that's what I'm going to guess that Josh Yarborough and those other guys are banking on is going to happen, because they've got to do something. They've got to make a risky call to get back in the mix of this with how far back they were. And again, they're out of the pits. They've got a nice little organized group here. We drop back in 16th position. We got the 16 of Bill Miller. Right behind him, the 77 of Josh Yarborough out of Michigan. Right behind him, the 21 car, Josh Hill out of Carolinas. Dan Jones in that 07 car, and then Justin Malarkey in that 73 who's running so good up front. They've made their bet. They need a caution, and they're in a good spot. They've already pitted. They're not going to have to come back in. It'll cycle back out in their favor, and they're doing a good job staying organized. So clearly these guys are trying to communicate and work together in this pack back here. Will it play out for them? I don't know.
I don't know, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see as we go back to this front pack here. As 3 more cars come down pit road of Rob Green, Chris Myers, and Michael Matta. Back to the communication part that you were just speaking of. I know whenever I was do a lot of speedway racing like this, we would call out over the radio, pitting this time by.
Yeah, and that's going on right now. The screen's lit up with the 64 Austin Call on the radio, Barrett Flo. All these guys are communicating. They're trying to work together. Sean Judson keying that microphone out. So it looks like we're going to see a coordinated stop out of most of these leaders. But the risk you run on that radio, and I don't know if we'll see it, every once in a while you'll get some guys like, hey, I'm coming in with you. And then they don't. Everybody goes in. People don't do what they say on the radio. I mean, you want to work with the guys. You got to work with the guys on the plate track. But this is a race. They're here to win. They're not here to be like, hey, man, that was a great job. We pushed each other to 3rd and 4th place. No, you want to win. So, sometimes you'll see guys where they're using that radio like they're using it right now, and they'll ditch. So we'll see if that happens. And that can make pit road entrance really dicey as they come around here down the back straightaway. They're still packed up. But you see these stragglers where they didn't quite get in sequence. The 72 car. The 44, are they going to try to tuck into this lead pack here? I mean, that could break the pack up. It could break up the pit strategy. This is going to be real interesting to see how this plays out. They're going to pit this lap or not as they come off 4 here. Let's see what happens.
It looks like they're no takers this time by. But like I was saying a while ago, though, you get on that radio, and a lot of the races that I've been in, you would have drivers call out, okay, I'm pitting this time by, I'll take inside. And then someone would say, okay, I'm taking middle, I'm taking outside. And then everyone just you form like a 3-wide group coming into pits. And then you've got to cycle your way back out to 2 wide or single file once you get on pit road. Just because you could outbreak the guy in front of you by 200 yards. And still get it well up. And it can cause havoc, like you were speaking of. And then that's where you have these huge incidents coming onto pit road, where you could be having it woed up as it looks like they're coming down this time.
Oh, looks like we got a handful of guys staying out. Looks like Merkel's made his bet. Merkel, Austin Call on the inside wall, walks it up a little bit. If he can keep it rolling, though, he's got a fast repair. He's not out of this. We don't know if the other guys are taking tires. He's got an opportunity to maybe keep it rolling. Oh man, what a tough bit. Oh man, he was running so good up there too. But I mean, he's not out of it. Everybody's broken up around the track. He might be able to catch somebody. But it looks like we've got Braxton DeWeese coming out of his pit stall right now. Alan Hunter taking all 4 tires. He gets rolling. Braxton looks like took 2. He's going to get some track position out of that. But man, they really broke that lead pack up getting off pit road.
Yes, it did.
They are not as strong as they were. And we're going to see these guys. They are not going to be able to catch the 31 Mustang coming out of here. So we're going to see this front pack here really get broken up. We've got 4 cars together. Barrett Flo in the 92. Sean Judson in the 19.
Ryan Kelly in that 13 Dinoco machine had it locked up big time getting onto pit road. We'll have to see if he has a speeding penalty. As we see the left side jack drop. Nope, no speeding penalty for the 13 machine. Looks like he's good to go. Looking at Merkel and the 94 of Maxwell Caldwell. No speeding penalties for them, as we see right here. We were talking about it earlier. These guys that short pitted, looks like it's paying off for him, as the 73 of Justin Malarkey is scored as your race leader right now.
And if they can just stay organized and just not get into battles, these little battles getting on and off of pit road, these little battles trying to get back into the lead, these cost you a second or 2 here or there. And then once you get these drafts broken up, like you see Ryan Kelly and Maxwell Caldwell glued to each other, they lost Todd Merkel. These guys are trying to work together. They lost, Todd's not with them anymore as they come into turn 3 back here. Todd Merkel in that 2 car all by himself. So what that's really going to do to their strategy is now you've got Tillman Hauer in the 28 car catching up to Randall Shelton again, that red Ford Mustang. They got Max Caldwell and Ryan Kelly. They don't have their third leg anymore. So it's basically just going to be these 2 cars drafting until some others catch up. But by the time the others do catch up, look what you got right behind them. You got this big 5-car pack of fast cars that are ready to go. And they're just going to motor probably right around these guys. They're already organized. These guys are getting up to speed. I think you're going to see Barrett Flo pop up top. There he goes. We're going to see Sean Judson follow him. Braxton DeWeese back in the mix in that 8 car. He was running so good earlier. Had that little issue, and now he's back up here looking good in that Jeff Schmidt Auto Group Chevy Camaro. And who do we got behind him lurking as usual? Derek Walker in that 20 car. He's just there. He's just, you see him up front, where'd he go? And then he's back and he's there. So great job by him, just quietly kind of just staying in the mix here.
Now, as we look at it, Braxton DeWeese is actually, I believe he's 1 lap down in 17th.
I just saw him up there. I don't know what I'm doing on this broadcast. But either way, I mean, he's in a great position because these are the guys that are up front. So if there's a lucky dog, I can tell you where I'd want to be. I'd want to be 2 cars away from the second position car, which is the 92 car of Barrett Flo. Now, we are off cycle on the pits right now. So if you go hunt down the current leader, we're hunting for him.
Barrett Flo, the 92, right here in front of Braxton DeWeese.
Okay, so we've cycled back out. He was second just a second ago. I was trying to find the car that stayed out, and that just shows how messy this gets too. Once these pits start really cycling, it's kind of confusing as a driver. Like, who am I racing? Is this for position? Should I work with this guy? Is this guy even? It's incredible. It's like, let's go through this front pack here. So we've got up front right now in that 92 Ford Mustang. We've got Barrett Flo. Right on his back bumper, in that number 19 W car, we got Sean Judson. Third in line, but Derek not third position, we got Braxton in that Camaro for that. Man, he's in 17th. I don't even know. Is he on the lead lap or 2 down or 3 down?
I believe he is 1 down.
Okay, so he's in a really good spot. Is Jeff Schmidt Auto Group Camaro. Right behind them. Then we've got Derek Walker in P3, but where it gets interesting is back there, though. Then we've got just an intermix of all kinds of stuff. We got Tillman Hauer in that number 28 Camaro. He's racing for position with the 8 car. The 20 car is of no matter to him. He needs to get around that 8 car if he wants to even have the slightest hope of being in the mix on this.
And so is Randall Shelton. He's he's that red car at the tail end of this pack. He's,
and like
him, DeWeese, and Ewer are battling for position for the lucky dog here.
And then you got Randall Shelton. Like I said, we haven't seen a lot of him today. He's not in a terrible spot. He's on this lead pack. He's trying to stay right on the bumper of Ryan Kelly as Derek Walker's going to get hung out again. Man, Derek cannot catch a break with making friends in that draft. But anyway, the 31 car, not a bad spot to be in. He's in the lead draft. If something happens with the other 2, he's not in a terrible spot. Not a great spot. You don't want to be third in line with 27 laps to go, 1 lap down. But for these super speedway, you just never know what's going to happen. So not a bad spot for him.
Yeah.
Although he's definitely not going to make any friends with that 20 car, not letting him blend in there. Yeah. That's something where that kind of stuff can pay off later in the season, or it can cost you later in the season when it's like, hey man, thanks for that help at Daytona when we lost the lead pack and you're a lap down. Great job, buddy. That kind of stuff will get you a door later in the season. People remember that kind of stuff, so you got to be careful. But you don't want to let these other cars get away, though, because your only hope is getting around those guys for that free pass. And he's going to have to do some work to make it happen.
Yeah, and as we look to see what other packs are out there, looks like we got a pretty big pack right here led by the 73 of Justin Malarkey. Looks about like a 7-car group right here. The 29 really loose right there out of turn 2. I'm going to tuck it right back up in line. These drivers back here, this is 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th for position, and then you have a few drivers in there that are a lap or more down.
And like we were talking about too, Justin Malarkey showed some real speed, some real patience, some really good just choices he was making earlier. Just got a little bit loose and just kind of lost his position at number 73 Ford Motor. I mean, he's got speed. He's doing everything he can, and having him in front of this pack is going to help this pack. You know, he knows what he's doing. He can keep it nice and smooth. He's got that 34 car glued right on his back bumper. So, you know, not a bad pack up here. They've got a lot of work to do to catch up, but that's not a bad pack. You got Bill Miller there trying to push him along as hard as he can, and that number 34 Camaro. You know, Malarkey Investments Mustang. That's a good car. If you want to try to catch that lead pack and you got what you got to work with back here, I definitely want that 34 car punching, or the 73 car punching a hole in the air for me to try to catch back up to him.
Yeah, he was definitely fast out there tonight. As we go back up here towards the front, that main front pack of the leaders, they are streamlined and they are clicking them off quick. As we have less than 25 to go. I believe we have 23 laps remaining in tonight's event. As DeWeese has a little bit of a blink there, running third in line.
And what's going to get dicey here in a second, they're coming up on these 3-lap cars. Let's check in on Michael Matta, Chris Vanderplatz, Austin Call. 3 really fast cars from earlier. These guys were doing so good, but as you can see, a lot of crushed up composite panels on these next gen cars here. All these guys had some really tough breaks. Austin Call getting on pit road. I didn't see what happened with the 3-car Chris Vanderplatz, and I didn't see what happened with the 16 of Michael Matta. Actually, he got pinballed around earlier. But man, these lead cars are going to have to make some real big decisions here. The 64 car is not going to want to give up that lap. This is his race. If he goes, he could be done here. Man, I'm curious to see how this goes. We're going to see these 2 cars go high. The 8 car is going to stick with them. Now, the 8 car, it's in his interest with Braxton to push these guys around that 64 car of Austin Call, because this is going to be a position battle for that lucky dog. Man, this is going to get real interesting real quick, because these guys, you know, the guys up front, they've got 21 laps to go. It's their ride.
Yeah.
The guys that are a lap down, this is their survival. You know, you're going to see them making some very questionable moves here. I mean, this is their race. This isn't 20 to go. This is an opportunity to finish here. You know, they need to stay that lucky dog position. I think you're going to see some real aggressive moves to keep that here as these lines kind of flutter out a little bit. You got Merkel in that high lane and that 28 car behind him, and they're just not going to make it work. Merkel's going to tuck back down. Walker's going to tuck in. 28's going to hang out to dry. But, man, we'll see how long this lasts here. I really see a chance for some of these lap guys to start being aggressive to get back around that 8 car for that. But, you know, what a good spot to be if you're the 19 or the 92 here, though. I mean, they're broken away. That's a great spot to be. But man, this could get real wild real quick for the guys behind them. And you got the guys that are in position back here. You know, Maxwell Caldwell, Ryan Kelly have been running their own race, and they're just going to be a front row seat to whatever transpires here.
Yeah, because I definitely wouldn't want to be these 2 leaders in front of all these lap cars that are racing for the lucky dog. And that's bound to be where the next caution comes from if we get one.
The 2 cars up front, that's a good spot to be in, because what you're going to see is what you're seeing right now. You're going to see Austin Call trying to make something happen with the 8 car, but if something's to transpire, you know, they're going to get crossed up behind the rear bumper of these 2 leaders, so they'll be fine. They should be able to get away from this. But we are seeing this pack start to kind of separate out a little bit. Where now we've got the 8 car. He's clearly got ownership of that lucky dog position. So I think you'll see us calm down. Now, what you're definitely going to see here, because we know they're working together, you're going to see the 94 of Maxwell Caldwell, number 2 of Todd Merkel, the Merkel Racing Engines team. You're going to see these guys work together. Derek Walker, you're going to see him try to work with them, and then Ryan Kelly. The Ryan Kelly, the Caldwell, and Merkel car, we know they're going to work together. Derek Walker knows that too. I think you're going to see a real strong 4-car move here when the timing is right. You see Max tucked up right on that 8-car, and you're going to see him start to go up just a little bit higher, looking around that Jeff Schmidt Auto Group Camaro, and maybe try to get a run going eventually. They've got really nobody organizing behind them. So they're, Ryan Kelly taking a little peek there. Can he clear himself up? No. So they're going to stay down nice and low. So you're going to see something happen, and it's going to happen right off the back bumper of that 8-car at the 94 car.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with you right there. These lap cars, man, they're chomping at the bit to try to get up there and mix it up.
They've got to. This is their race, because if something happens, the 8-car is going to get a free pass. He's back in the mix. We don't have a whole lot of cars on the lead lap. This is 8-car, the Jeff Schmidt Camaro here with Braxton DeWeese. If something happens, he's fast. He can work his way to the front. If they go under caution, they're going to be double file. There's going to be a restart. He's got opportunity to work it through there. You're going to see some crazy 3-wide stuff. He's not in a bad position, and he is making friends with the 2 guys up front by keeping that 94 of Max Caldwell tucked back there. This could get interesting. This could also go green flag and be extraordinarily boring with us trying to hype up things that could happen that don't. But, a lot of things could come to fruition here as we start to come up on some more lap cars. I got to give props. They come up on these guys. And Robert Hammer in that 41 car, he says, you know what? I'm not in this mix right now. I'll see you guys next week at Auto Club, but, I'm not going to interfere with your race. Just moves over, lets them by. Oh, no, we got big trouble.
That's the 31 and the 3. As the yellow does come out, Braxton DeWeese gets that lucky dog. Go back and take a look and see exactly what happened here. Looks like just a 2-car incident. You see the 31 up there. Oh, he gets loose and comes down and collects the 3. Hard hit for the 3 of Chris Vanderplats. Go back live here for the caution that could possibly be breeding cautions with about 15 laps to go in tonight's event. So we are definitely setting up for an exciting end to this race. We were just talking about all of that, and now it is starting to come to fruition. So right now, your top 10 is Barrett Flo, Sean Judson, as we have drivers that were faking coming down pit road. Threw me off for a second. So we have Barrett Flo, Sean Judson, Maxwell Caldwell, Todd Merkel, Ryan Kelly, Derek Walker, Eddie Haggy, Alan Hunter, Art Greco, and Justin Malarkey is your top 10.
Let's check in on let's check in on Todd Merkel real quick, because he's worked his way up there. Let's see if we can get him on the radio real quick.
Yeah, let's check him out.
Hey Todd, you got a copy?
Indeed I do. How you fellas doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm not racing with you guys because I can't update my computer, but I'm doing broadcasts with my voice that's nowhere near as cool as yours.
That's fine. You got a great voice.
Well,
so yeah, go ahead, Jacob.
Oh, well, man, walk us through how this race is going for you right now. Sitting in, looks like 4th right now. In that bright neon yellow machine. Man, how's it looking for you up there?
Well, it's pins and needles. I learned a little early after a long run. These things get a little sketchy coming off the corner. I took 4 on the last stop. Feeling pretty good about it right now. I got my teammate, Maxwell Caldwell, in front of me. And we're going to go to the front.
So we've been watching this from the digital broadcast booth. So we know that you and Max and Ryan are going to work together. that pink Camaro behind you, are you guys trying to pull Derek Walker out? He's looked really strong all day. Are you guys trying to work with him? Seems like he's mixing it up with you guys quite a bit. We know he's fast from last weekend. Tell us about the alliances that you do or don't have up front there. What you got? Any other guys you're going to try to work with, or what's going on up there? Todd, walk us through it.
Well, the primary team is Maxwell, Caldwell, Ryan Kelly, and I, and all in a row here. We are also working with Derek, but we're not in communication with him.
Well, I think if you four guys can work together, it's looking really strong. We're going to have, a good battle up here. All these guys have just been super strong the whole race. So, it looks like you guys are going to be going green here in just a little bit. So we'll let you get back down there. Any shout-outs you want to give real quick before we head back over?
No, I just want to thank the guys at MERKEL Racing Engines for powering these team cars, and Ross Pistons, Liberty's Gears, and Driven Racing Oil.
And we'll stay driven out there, and we'll talk to you real soon, Todd. Good luck.
Thank you much.
Thank you. That was Todd MERKEL, driver of that 2 machine right there. Can't miss him out on the track ever in that bright neon yellow car with blue flames. As the field is stacked up, getting ready to go back green flag racing here tonight from virtual Daytona International Speedway in the SCL Winston Cup Weekly Series, round 1.
So let's take a look at this. Front row here, man, this is going to get real quick. Front row here, we got the 92 Barrett Flow. He's been controlling that inside line all day, but he's been doing it with the help of the guy on his outside now, Sean Judson, that W number 19 car. These guys are working together. Now they're going to have to work against each other or get going real quick because, man, right behind them, we got more guys back there. Who we got back there?
Well, let's see. We got Maxwell Caldwell and Todd MERKEL, Ryan Kelly and Derek Walker in row 3. That's going to be a row to watch right there. Looks like some guys spun the tires a
lot
little
of
bit.
Lot of wheel spin. And there we go. They're linking up nose to tail right off the bat. So it looks like the 19 wasn't quite clear. So the 92 made his move to clear up on the 19 as he goes back down to kind of cut the run off that lane. You'll probably see him pop back up top to pull that 19 car around. Down. Oh, gets loose. Good save. Tried to make the move. Max was like, I know what you're going to do. I'm not going to let you get away from me to do it. So we're going to see Max shove this 92 car way out front, which is going to pull a 13 with him. This is a good move by Caldwell here, pushing that car way out front. Now he can back it down just a little bit and then try to get a run on him with the 13 car, which is going to happen right there. Excellent execution by these guys.
They're wrecking behind him. As the yellow flag flies one more time, looks like Maxwell Caldwell will be scored your leader. Looks like Michael Matta was involved in that incident. We're back.
That's a tough break for Matta. Tough break. He's just been getting these little incidents all day. We saw him earlier, car bent up, just can't seem to get a break. Nice drift, by the way, by this Mustang pace car on the apron there. I don't know if you're seeing it on the broadcast right now, but it's probably 10 to 15 degrees of angle. That's quite impressive. I'm going to have to find out who that is and go talk to them later. But excellent drift by that pace car.
Right. Oh, no. The 31 of Randall Shelton was involved in that, but it looks like it started with the 3 of Chris Vanderplot's. So let's go back and see what happened to him up here. Just seeing him head into turn 3. Oh, there were 3 wide in front of him making contact, and that's what started it. The 64 of Austin Call, the 07, the 28, the 3, the 16, the 31, the 43 narrowly getting by. Tough break for a lot of good drivers out there tonight as we are back under the yellow flag here on lap 89.
And that's tough, too. It's just not what you want to see. You got a guy that's, a lot of these guys are just trying to mind their own business, like Austin Call and this shows how quick on these plate tracks your day can just go just right down the drain. He makes an honest mistake trying to get on pit road, barely gets into the wall, gets out of the pack, gets away from the guys he's working with, gets back here, and then you've got some desperation moves going down. We've got just a handful of laps to go. This is some of these guys' shots. We send it 3 wide here a little bit. 07 gets a little bit loose, comes down to 64, a little bit of net code there, and now your day is just full of more contact. Luckily, his car's not torn up too bad, but the 07, he's gonna call it a day. He's taking it to the garage. Tough break for Dan Jones in that car.
Yeah, it looks like with the laps that are left, looks like he may come at the end of the race about in the 23rd to 25th spot. So we're gearing up to have about a 10-lap run to the checkered here, Mike. You think caution is out the window now at this point?
I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, let's take a look at what's going on here. Let's work our way kind of back, and let's talk about these guys and their positions up front. We got Maxwell Caldwell and that Merkel Racing Engines Camaro. Max has been, his strategy came to him. They broke up on that pit stop. It wasn't looking too good for him, and now he's in the lead. A couple cautions and some really good strategy on that restart put him up there in second place. And that number 92 Ford Mustang, we got Barrett Flo here. And that Flow Grading Oil SCL Mustang, that good-looking hot rod, but he's been running strong all day. If I had to pick somebody, I'm not sure, but he's definitely one of the guys that I would not hesitate to pick. Third place, we got Ryan Kelly back here. Now, this is going to work good for them. They're lined up nose to tail, him and Maxwell Caldwell. We know they're going to work together. We know they're both in Camaros. They're going to line up really well. That's going to work out excellent. Outside lane 2, we got Eddie Haggy. That car has been running absolutely excellent all day. We've talked about him a whole lot. And that Magothic Air Consulting Camaro over there, I mean, that's a good-looking car. He's been looking good up front in it all day as well. So that's somebody you can't count out. Back here, 19, the Sean Judson car, that W Mustang. That car's been running good all day too. Any of these guys up here going. Art Greco in that Camaro, he was leaning earlier. He got shuffled to the back a little bit, and now he's back in the mix. And then look on the inside here on row 4. Josh Yarbrough. He's got so much bad luck. So many little small incidents. Here he is, running 7th. He got that fast repair done. That Camry's looking good. He's looking in a good spot. Like I said, he's one of those guys where he just kind of finds his way up to the front sometimes. You won't even see him coming. And then just a little bit back, we got Josh Terrett Hill. Again, haven't really heard a lot from him all day. Now he's kind of back in the mix. Todd Merkel in that yellow Merkel Engines Ford Mustang. He's ready to rock back here. And then here, Derek Walker, again. Guy we've talked about a lot today. He's always a threat. He's in a good spot. He's going to have a lot of air to work with. Behind him, we've got the 14 car, Alan F. Hunter. This car was up front earlier. We know he can push. This is probably one of the guys where if you're going to make a move, if I'm Derek Walker, I'm hoping that 14 car, the 73 car, loses my bumper as we go green. A lot of good cars that can make something happen.
Top 3, top 4 in line super quick here on the restart.
And that's what you got to do, because those guys, now instead of side-by-side, little ticky-tack battles, now you're going to have to battle. You're going to have to get around 7 cars. As Todd Merkel gets real loose but holds on to it. But, man, look at all these cars we got in the mix that weren't here. Josh Terrett Hill in that 21 car. He's back in it. The 14, the 73, all these guys were just out of it. Now they are 110% back in it. You've got about 8 laps to go. A lot can happen in 8 laps. You're going to see these guys starting to pair up, be real aggressive. Man, anyone up here has got a shot for the win right now.
The one car that I'm really keeping my eye on here is that 72 machine of Art Greco. He looks like he could be really aggressive in that 72 machine and just try to get back up there to the front. Definitely has the speed to do it. We'll have to see if he has the path to get there.
We saw him do it earlier, but the thing it's going to take at this point, too, is friends. And earlier we saw him get to the front, but then he got hung out. So I don't know if he's going to have the help to get up there as he gets hung out again. But, man, this is going to get real dicey real quick. We're seeing some alliances form. We're seeing some guys pushing. Look at this, Josh Terrett Hill in this 21 Camaro and the 34 Camaro, Bill Miller. These guys are glued to each other as they get a little tight on that 97 car coming out of the corner here, trying to see if they can make something happen. But And it's going to be so tough to do that with these front guys so organized. We come in here with 6 laps to go in the season opener here at SCL.
Don't look now, but the 73 of Justin Malarkey on the back bumper of the 97 of Eddie Hagge, they are making some headway on that.
Man, this could be a really strong. We got a big wreck coming out of 2. Oh, no. Lots of good
Todd Merkel involved. 92 of Barrett Flo, turning the 20 of Walker. They're still wrecking.
Oh, no. That's not what you want to see. So many good cars caught up. Bill Miller got caught up in that, the 34 Camaro. Art Greco, we were just talking about him. Alan Hunter, such a good pusher, man, got caught up in that. Eddie Hagge was, oh, man, lots of good guys having a rough go over there. That's not what you want to see.
Let's go back and follow along with the 13 here of Ryan Kelly. See exactly what kind of transpired this. You see him entering, I believe that's turn 3 there. And working their way out of turn 4. All right, so looks like 94 Maxwell Caldwell come up in front of the 13. And they get going pretty good there, but maybe it started with the 97 possibly, because he's just below to the inside of the 13.
Yeah, if we back it up just a tad, it looks like the 92 car was doing everything he could to keep up with these guys, and he tries to make just the tiniest little bit of a crossover move, gets just the tiniest bit loose, gets into the 13, and that's just good, hard restrictor plate racing. You can't blame anybody here. It's 5 to go. It's go time. You got to go. Him and the 19 had absolute control over this race. They try to get a run. Just gets a little bit loose, and just all hell breaks loose after that. Lots of good cars just get caught up. Really unfortunate.
Try this one more time on the replay here. I was looking at the wrong area of the race there. So there you see the 92 right behind the 13. Oh, yeah. You just see them start scattering from there. Now, we do have a Braxton DeWeese in the chat here saying, go on board with me. I went straight through that. So let's find the 8 of DeWeese here and ride along with him as he gets through this carnage. See, he has hardly little to no visibility up front. Doesn't even see the accident happen. He just sees smoke. And it's just like the seas parted for that 8 machine. That is so wild right now. You go back
and good job to him, too. I mean, you hear him lift off the gas just a little bit, sees somebody's behind him, gets back on it, but just tries to give just enough space to have some exit routes and some options. And luckily it works out for him. So great job to Braxton DeWeese in that Camaro there, that number 8 car. Again, he's one of those guys where he was just fighting to the absolute death to stay on the lead lap. With that accident, now he finds himself sitting in 5th.
Yes, he does. And as we are going to be going green on about lap 98 here, about 3 laps to go is my estimation. It's definitely going to be a nail biter. I believe these guys are going to ratchet up the intensity.
And look who we got up here now. We've got Max Caldwell and then Josh Yarbrough. Got loose earlier, got in a big wreck, and just these restrictor plate races, if you just stay in it, you never know what's going to happen. Finds himself on the outside of the front row in that 77 car. Good for him. Just stay in it. Same with the 73 car. He looked like he was out of it earlier after that big wiggle off forward where he almost just lost the entire pack and they got caught in the second back. Now he's sitting strong in 4th. The 8 car, we were just talking about him. And the 72 car back in it. He was just out of it. Now he's back in it. Man, this is you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and Austin Call right here in the 64, sitting in the 4th row on the inside. He's definitely primed himself back up in the front of this thing to try to have a shot at winning this.
And just a testament to you can never really count yourself out of these restrictor plate races until they're over. I mean, thought his day was over on. I thought his day was over on that pit road incident, but here he is sitting 7th. I expect to see him move up, and then Derek Walker, the silent killer, just out there, just lurking in that 20 car. You can't get him out of the view, no matter what. He's just always up there, just ready to pounce. So this is going to get real interesting. A lot of good cars. I mean, I don't. There's probably 10 cars that could win this thing. Max Caldwell's all by himself up there. None of these guys that were working together earlier together. This is going to be every man for himself. I think we're going to see probably like one lap where we're going to see 2 people try to link up, and then you're going to see some 3 wides, some big air movements. This is going to get real quick here.
Yes,
it's going to be a real exciting finish.
As we're waiting, pace car makes the hard left-hand turn here. The field in the hands of Maxwell Caldwell. Green flag is back out here to start lap 98 of the scheduled 100 laps. We do have one attempt at a green-white checkered if needed. These drivers getting up through the gears. The 77 of Yarbrough.
Josh Yarbrough pulling out to a big lead of that 73 car. Now off the corner, he's got a decision. Does he want to block the low lane or stay up top? He can't really. He's made his choice. He's going to stay up top. Oh, they got a big run up there. This is going to work out for him. Is he going to take the 73 with him, and they're going to go, I assume they're going to go down and try to clear it into 3. If not, the 73 is definitely going to take it. There it goes.
All right.
Oh, man. Josh Yarbrough in the driver's seat, up front, in the lead with coming up on just a couple to go. What a great season opener here for the SCL. Josh Yarbrough out front. And that 73 car, he was just out of it. Now he's here. He's nipping on the heels of victory.
Yes, he is.
Excellent.
That 94 of Maxwell Caldwell turns him. He goes
73.
hard to the inside.
No caution. This is going to come down to the wire here. Caldwell's got a big run, and we've got a caution.
Oh, yeah, there's the caution. 73 hard on the outside wall.
What a tough break for the 73 car.
There's no coming back from that as the left rear is broke completely off of that 73 machine. Tough break. We go back and take a look. There you see the 73. Right there, he gets turned. Oh, he was able to keep it off the inside wall. Oh, wow. He goes for a huge tumble. And I could not see what car that was involved that hit him as he was coming back up onto the track. Let's look at this one more time. And we'll slow it down as he gets turned. So right here's where he gets turned, and we'll slow it down to a quarter speed. So he looked like he was in the good right here. Gets a little air time. Still somewhat under control as he's doing a 4-wheel slide towards the inside wall. Looks like he has it pretty well gathered up. Then right here.
Just catches this little easement, this little bump, and it just sends him over. Oh, man.
Yeah, tough break. And that looks like the 4 car possibly.
Yeah, he collects
41.
He gets launched and then just lands on the 41 car with nowhere to go. Man, what a tough break for those guys. Again, mad props. Great run to Justin Malarkey. He was up front all day. Just a casualty of restrictor plate racing. It's a couple to go. These guys are going to be tight and pushing. Caldwell's down there. He tries to throw the block just a little bit late. Caldwell's already there. Caldwell sweeps up just a little bit, tries to square it up. Just a little too much movement, a little too late by both of them. And, man, it just ends the 73's day. It's a tough way to go. But, again, just great run by him all day. The results aren't going to show it, but,
so
phenomenal job by Malarkey all day.
Yeah, we're going to ride along with the 41 here of Robert Hammer and see his point of view of when the car comes back up onto the track. Oh, yeah, there was nothing he could do. You only seen snippets through the window net of that car going tumbling. Tough break for the 41 there of Robert Hammer. No fault of his own.
And that just happens sometimes on these plate tracks. So this is going to be pretty crazy. We're going to have green-white checkered. If they take the white, they're going to finish it out. I'm really hoping we get a clean lap here. And this is starting to look a little bit like the Clash was, though, to where it just turns into last lap anarchy. And I don't know who's in 16th place right now, but we might be looking at our winner with that. What happened last week and what happened, at the playoff, the end of the regular season race in the Cup Series. You just don't know who's going to make it through it. It looks like the last car in the lead lap, back in 12th position, that Toyota Camry, the number 14, Alan Hunter. He's going to be the last car in the lead lap. He might be the first one to cross the finish line. It's just going to be about what happens once we get going here. We'll work our way from the back of the lead lap to the front. So, like we were saying, we've got the number 14 car, Alan Hunter, and a Toyota Camry back here. In front of him, we're going to have Todd Merkel, that Merkel Racing Engines Ford Mustang. Bill Miller, sitting in 10th right now, number 34 Camaro. Eddie Hagley in 97. We talked about him a lot today. He's in a good spot to push it through right here. Josh Terrett Hill, 7th, quietly up to 7th, minding his own business all day. Braxton DeWeese in 5th. He was a lap down just not too long ago. Fought tooth and nail to get back up in here. Austin Collins 6th, another guy. Stayed in it. Now he's in a good spot. Art Greco 4th. Sean Judson at 19 W car in 3rd. Outside front row, Maxwell Caldwell. And Josh Yarbrough sitting P1. Man, what a good day for him. I know he's going to be real excited about that. He's one of those guys where he just kind of hangs out, and then at the end you're like, where'd he come from? And he just winds up there, minds his own business. This is anybody's race at this point. Who you got, Jacob? You gonna throw any guesses out here?
Oh, man, if I had to go with a driver, it would probably be that driver, that 72 machine right there, Art Greco. He just seems like he has a lot of single-car speed and has been able to make moves by himself without much help. So I'm looking for him to possibly make a big move here on the white flag lap.
I don't know if I want to make a guess. I think that S197 Mustang up front, seen a lot of that lately. That might be a safe bet. But man, this is going to be a real nail biter here. I mean, any of these guys could win, and I'd love to see them win. But here we go. We'll let you call it as we go green.
Pace car peels off. Green flag is out here at Daytona. Josh Yarbrough with a huge jump. Hopefully he will not be a sitting duck as they get
He's
up
going to
through
be
the
a
gears.
sitting duck. That's going to end in about turn 2. Caldwell with that big run on the outside with 72 car right on his back bumper. Inside's going to stall out. And here comes that outside line. And you know they've got a big run when they're moving in the corner.
Yeah.
The 72 backs up to slow out Caldwell. And he's going to get a big run here. He's going to try to probably stick it 3 wide. Decided to go against it. Kind of surprised he didn't stick it down. There's the bump to clear Caldwell. They're going to try to push each other. Austin Call coming up in 3rd. Derek Walker.
There it is.
I talked about him all day.
The 72 of Art Greco to the point. Here comes Austin Call out of turn 4. Flagman has the white flag out. The 19, the 20, the 96, I believe that was.
We didn't take the white flag, and we take the white flag, so we are going to run this out.
Yes, we are. So your leader, Art Greco, in the 72 as they dive off into turn 1 with Austin Call in tow. They're single file for now.
It's anybody's race. We got Art Call, but Bill Miller in that 34 car right there. He's going to follow somebody.
Greco gets a little loose out of the
Oh,
corner.
we got
3
3
wide
wide for the lead. Excellent draft. And then Josh Terrett Hill's going to pull himself through. Yarbrough comes as well.
Bill
They've got
Miller.
a good run. We've got
they're
Reckoning behind. It's a
Yeah, they're
4-car
wobbling them up.
breakaway.
Can Josh
4-car
Terrett Hill?
breakaway. Bill Miller coming off. I don't see anybody making an actual move that's going to stick
I
there.
don't
Bill
either.
Miller brings that Camaro down. He's going to take the win here.
Holy cow. That was more. Wow. That was. I don't even have words for how that played out right there. Your winner. That 34 machine of Bill Miller. We'll bring you the official finishing order here in a couple of minutes. But man, what a drive to come from, I believe it was 4th on that last lap. 3 wide to the lead.
Yeah, that was just that 3 wide. Because what happens is you get that big draft, and sometimes they leave just enough gap. I'll tell you what, he took that Shock Eye Racing Performance Clint Boyer Autoplex Camaro and just shoved it perfectly in that little hole and just punched the air right through there. Man, that's a textbook job on how to bring one of these home. You know, he wasn't dominating all day, just patiently stayed up there, didn't do anything egregious. And man, he put that Shock Eye Performance car. That's a fantastic, great way to bring that home there. Excellent job by him.
Yes, it is. And what a way to round out the first race of the season here with Bill Miller taking home the checkered flag. So while we wait for interviews here, let's bring you the official finishing order here, presented by the SCL. Your winner, Bill Miller, in that 34 machine. Josh Tarrant Hill brings it home in second. Third is Joshua Yarbrough. Fourth, Austin Call. Fifth was Art Greco. Sixth was Todd Merkel. Seventh was Braxton DeWeese. Eighth was Barrett Flo. Sean Judson in ninth, and rounding out the top 10 was Alan Hunter. 11th,
Derek Walker bringing it home solid in P11, up front all day. Eric Hackley bringing it home with the 12th. Ryan Kelly putting that 13 car in 13th place. Maxwell Caldwell battling for the lead there. Restrictor plate racing at its finest, finds himself 14th. Rob Green brings it home 15th. Steven Johnson 16th. Justin Moore, who had a tough break for that last caution, 17th. Randall Shelton 18th. Robert Hammer 19th. Chris Vanderplatte in that 3 Camaro bringing it home in 20th.
In 21st, we have Larry McKenzie in that 22 machine. Michael Matta in 22nd. 23rd was Doc Caldwell. 24th, Dan Jones. Tillman Heward in 25th. Chris Myers in 26th. 27th was Eric Schaus. 28th, Michael Accord. 29th was Derek Gilray. And 30th, Andrew McKenzie.
And then bringing it up dead last is going to be Kevin Hassey in that number 30 car. And then we had a couple do not starts with myself and Adam Lowe. Couldn't update my computer, so I got to announce a little bit, and then Adam running race control in there. But man, this was fun. Thanks for letting me come hang out with you in the booth here a little bit since I couldn't race. This was fun.
Man, it was definitely fun. Definitely gonna have to try to get you back in here at some point in time. So let's
not on Mondays, absolutely not. I will be racing from here on out, sir. This actually does work out kind of convenient because I really hate restrictor plate racing with a passion because it always ends like this, and I'm one of those guys where I take this way too seriously. So I guarantee you what would have happened was I would have been up there, I would have been involved in the wreck, and I would have rage quit, and my wife and my dad would have probably called me on the way home and asked how pissed off I was. So being in the booth for a plate race, I'll take that opportunity maybe. But no, it was fun. Thanks for having me, and hopefully we'll see you out October 15th, Houston Motorsports Park for the Southern Premier Racing Series. We'll let you come out there and hang out and check it out and come out there. And it's real exciting for us to partner with you guys too. SCL has been great, giving us the opportunity to get a real esports series. Like I said, some of the guys in here racing are guys that come out and watch the races. And thank you again to all the drivers that are participating in here for working with us. This is awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And how about you stick with me long enough here for the driver interviews? We're going to interview the top 3 here. So first off, we're going to bring in Joshua Yarbrough in that 77 machine. Hey there, Joshua. You got a copy?
Got a copy.
Hey, man. Congrats on bringing it home in the 3rd spot here in the season opener. Walk us through how that race went for you. A lot of ups and downs, and definitely learned not to count you out.
I'm a decent speedway racer, I feel, but that's just me. Yeah, got in that early wreck, unfortunately. Thankfully, I didn't have any real damage, but the EOL did set me back. Hung around with Bill, Josh, and I can't remember who the other one was, but we just rode around in about 12th through 15th, keeping it safe. Thankfully, the wrecks were way ahead of us that we could avoid them, and yeah, just keeping it clean.
Man, I gotta say, you kept it clean pretty daggum well. Able to bring it home in the 3rd spot. Great points day. Starting off the season right. Mike, you have anything for Mr. Yarbrough here?
Man, I just want to give you props in the broadcast. We were talking about you a little bit. You're kind of silent during the race, and you always just pop up at the end there. And textbook Josh Yarbrough day, just hung out, stayed out of trouble for the most part. And look at you winding up on the podium. Great job out there. You took that Team Sakura Camry and you got yourself a podium with it, man. Are you excited about running SCL this year?
I am more than excited. Honestly, the people in this group, way more than I expected first coming in. I think that first practice race, we maybe had 12, and they were a little wishy-washy, but no, racing was great tonight. Everybody's very talented, and yeah, definitely putting me through the ringer for testing.
You might say put you through the ringer. It looks like you put it on the podium. So nice job out there, bro. That's awesome. Stoked to see it for you.
Thank you.
Well, Josh, do you have any shout outs or sponsor plugs you want to get out there for the people tuned in tonight?
Don't say Buddy's Pizza.
No, I'm more of a Cloverleaf. That's another local branch around here. But the only shout outs I really got are my friends watching at home. That is Philip and Ryan McMurray, Michael Ducharme, and Eric Bennett. This is the second time I get to call you guys out. Thank you for watching. And of course, I'd like to thank my wife, just let me race on Mondays.
All right, man. Well, once again, congrats on putting that 77 machine here on the podium in third. Definitely looking for some good things out of you this season. And, man, hopefully we'll get to talk to you next week.
I hope so, too. You guys take care.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for coming out, Josh.
That was Joshua Yarbrough, your third place finisher here tonight in the SCL Winston Cup Series round 1 from Daytona. Now let's get to our second place finisher here. Driver of that 21 machine of Josh Terrett Hill. Get him in here. He's actually one of the guys here that puts on this league. Mr. Josh, you got a copy?
I'm here, still breathing.
Man, I bet you were white knuckling it there, especially there on the last couple of restarts.
Yeah, my plan all day was just hang out in the back, and I was doing a good job of hanging out in the back. And then just a little bit of strategy there, that long green flag run, I was able to stay on lead lap and just stay in a pack back there. And then when all hell broke loose, we just came to the front, all three of us.
Yeah, man, it was definitely exciting. Were you hoping it kind of ran green, or were you looking for that late cautions there to kind of get group back up?
Had a feeling there was going to be a late caution there, and talking over with my teammates, we all decided that I was just going to take it 3 wide and run up through the middle, and that's Bill had that inkling right before I did, so I followed him 3 wide through the middle.
Well, it definitely paid off, bringing it home in the second spot here tonight. Fantastic points day running runner up here. Mike, you have anything for Josh?
The only thing I'm really wanted to ask you is hi, how are you, by the way? But I'm worried about tech here. On the hood there, you got 427. Sir, the rulebook clearly says 358. What's going on there?
I know some of the guys in the tech. I gave them a couple of bottles of High Rock should work that in my favor.
Well, you enjoy those tonight. Great job out there, man. That was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was fun to participate in there. Glad I actually got a legitimate post-race interview.
Right. Well,
shots fired. I need to pop out of this broadcast booth and let you two sort this out here.
Right. Oh man, got a good chuckle out of that one. Well, you got a good start off to the season here, bringing it in second. Are there any races you have circled on the calendar coming up?
I mean, really the only ones that I can think about competing in are these plate track races, because I am not good at saving tires or driving fast or any of that stuff. I'm more of a street stock racer. But yeah.
Man, you certainly aren't with that kind of attitude. Let's send him back to street stocks on Tuesday. Get this guy out of here.
This is what I wanted. Obviously, I wanted 1 spot better, but I'm glad Bill got it. He's former rookie of the year in the series.
Well, Josh, you have any shout-outs or sponsor plugs you want to get out there for the people tuned in?
So first off, I'd like to thank Buddy's Pizza for making an awesome pizza. They made it so good that Jet's Pizza stole the recipe.
I'm done with this.
But other than that, just my teammates, Barrett and Adam, we were kind of mulling over our strategies all night and trying to keep it good. I'm glad that Barrett was up there leading the most laps, getting a good feel for the front. Sucks what happened there at the end for him. But just glad for everybody coming out. We're going to make this series a good series, and hopefully everybody will be tuned in every Monday night watching it.
Sure, for sure. Well, once again, man, congrats on bringing it home in the second spot. And definitely appreciate you choosing Full Send to broadcast these races here on Monday nights for y'all. And
yep.
Maybe we'll get
talk to Bill. Bill's going to be overjoyed when you talk to him here in a second.
Man, I'm overjoyed at that 3-wide pass he did for the win. I mean, I'm excited about it. That was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to do it. He just thought about it right before I did.
All right, Josh. Well, you have yourself a good night. Once again, congrats on bringing it home in second.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for all your help.
Thank you. That was Josh Terrett Hill in that 21 machine bringing it home in second. Let's get to your race winner, that driver of that 34 machine, Mr. Bill Miller. Him up here in the booth. Hey there, Bill Miller. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. You made a 3-wide move right there that went so fast we couldn't hardly call it in time, man. Walk us through how that race went for you.
Man, I was just riding for 99% of that race. That last restart there, well, the one before the green-white checkered, and then the green-white checkered. Then we got after it, but we're just trying to ride till the end of the race up to that point.
Yeah, man. Definitely didn't hear much out of you for most of the night, but man, you were up there when it counted, making some big money moves and ultimately bringing home the checkered flag, starting the season off right. That race win under your belt. May I ask you the same I asked Josh Terrett Hill? Any races coming up that you have circled on the calendar?
Man, I'm gonna be honest. I own a trucking company, drive truck for a living. I race when I'm home, and I just happen to be home tonight. I'd love to be able to commit to every week, but just not how my life works.
And I appreciate everything you do out there in the trucking industry. I'm a truck driver myself, and it's definitely tough. Dang, you definitely made a statement coming out here, being a part-time guy and winning the first race of the season, man. Congrats. Mike, you have anything for Mr. Bill Miller here?
Bill, I just want to say we were calling the broadcast, and I knew that someone was going to try to do that. And when you did it, that was one of the greatest. That was fun. I don't call broadcasts. I normally come play with you guys, but I'll tell you that was super fun to walk us through that. Do you remember it in pretty good detail? You come off on there. They get the white flag. Everybody just the C's part. There's a big red. You come in glued to Austin Call's car. And then up front, you got Art Greco up there. You got a little bit of a run. Walk us through it. I mean, tell us when you realized, because you knew they weren't going to leave a hole for you to do that, and then Austin Call pulled away just a little bit to break that side draft, and you walk us through that. That was awesome.
Yeah, I pushed Austin a little bit off of 2, gave him enough of a run to, make him pull to the outside of the leader, and they got together a little bit, and I think it broke the momentum of both of them, and they kind of split open, and I saw that opening, and I knew I had to go for it as soon as I saw it, otherwise it was going to close up.
You're coming into 3, you got the lead, you just blew past those guys. I know you were looking in that mirror. You saw Josh back there in that 21 car, and you're like, how much room do I have? Is he going to drop Mega? When did you know that you'd done it? He's not going to get around. He's looking. He doesn't have the run. When did you know that you had done it?
Yeah, I watched the mirror pretty much the whole 3 and 4, more in the mirror than out front. And once we were coming off of 4, I could see that he didn't have a run on me, and I pretty much knew it was over then.
That's awesome. Oh, that was a great job. Any shout outs you want to give? I see some stickers on that Hot Rod Miller Family Trucking R&R material. Let's talk about who helps you do fun stuff out here.
Yeah, Miller Family Trucking, which is my company, of course, and I got a friend in Georgia that's got the RTR Material, another trucking company. Shockeye is the team that I'm on. Yeah, and Josh and anybody that has anything to do with this league, every time I get a chance to run it, it's first class league, great competition, and a lot of fun.
All right, man. Well, once again, congrats on bringing home the checkered flag. Definitely an interesting race. And, man, you pulled off the best move that you could have pulled and blew the doors off the competition when you made it. Like I said, man, congrats on that. And hopefully we'll get to talk to you again sometime soon here.
I appreciate it. You guys, you have yourself a good evening, and hope you enjoy the show because it was a lot of fun in the seat tonight.
Well, much appreciated, man. And you have yourself a good night.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you. And that was Bill Miller, your race winner here tonight in the SCL Winston Cup Series Round 1 from Daytona International Speedway. Bringing that 34 machine home in the top spot. Now, one more time, we're going to take you through the official finishing order here before we sign off. In the pole, or taking on the checkered flag, was Bill Miller. In second was Josh Terrett Hill. In third, Joshua Yarbrough. Fourth, Austin Call. Fifth, Art Greco. Sixth was Todd Merkel. Seventh, Braxton DeWeese. Eighth was Barrett Flo. Sean Judson in ninth. 10th was Alan Hunter. In 11th, we had Derek Walker. 12th, Eddie Hagee. 13th was Ryan Kelly. 14th, Maxwell Caldwell. 15th was Rob Green. 16th, Steven Johnson. 17th was Justin Malarkey. 18th, Randall Shelton. 19th was Robert Hammer. And 20th, Chris Vanderplatz. In 21st was Larry McKenzie. 22nd, Michael Matta. 23rd was Doc Caldwell. 24th, Dan Jones. 25th was Tillman Hewer. 26th, Chris Myers. 27th, Eric Schaus. 28th, Michael Accord. 29th was Derek Gilray. And 30th, Andrew McKenzie. Rounding out the field in 31st was Kevin Haas. That is your full field rundown of how they finished here in the SCL Weekly Series presented by the SCL. Mike, it was a pleasure having you up here in the booth with me tonight. Definitely enjoyed it. We'll have to do it again sometime soon.
Yeah, next time you do a truck or street stock, I'll see if I can pop in over there. But yeah, looking forward to Auto Club next weekend for the Raising Cane's 100. Race 2 out of our 14-week season here. That track's always got good multi-groove racing. That's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to getting on track on that one and looking forward to having you call it. That'll be a good time. Thanks for letting me come up here while I couldn't race. Absolutely, man. And once again, I just want to give a shout out to you. You did a fantastic job here on the broadcast. And for Full Send Broadcast Network and Mike, I'm Jacob signing off. We'll see you next time, and we can't wait to see you go full send.